excited to be back interviewing and podcasting with the wonderful collaborator with me, Tash. Hello again. How you doing?
Hi, good and yourself?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good. Just we were just chatting before. Just moved flats and released a song with you on the same weekend. Everything always happens at once, I think.
Exactly right.
It's the way to do it. Just gotta do
How it
it.
goes.
Exactly. But yeah, great. Thank you for coming back to chat to me. I thought it'd be really cool just for us to actually just talk about the song that we came out, that we've released, and I guess a little bit about the process of it as well, and how it all came together. Because I guess that's for me, it's the first time doing a collaboration in this kind of way. How about yourself? Have you done any more
I
collaboration?
haven't done any collaboration. You're like my first one.
Ah, yay. Well, you too in this way, so it's cool. And we were just saying like before, so
Yeah.
I guess the backstory to the collaboration of the song Wanted. So it's taken, yeah, it's really like a year, maybe more than that actually, from like initial kind of us getting together. But if you can correct me if this is wrong, but I think our process was that I was sort of looking into in early 2021 possible collaborations, and I got in touch with you with a tiny little song idea that I created. At
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time, I was living somewhere else, so I was living in, and this was during height of early 2021 lockdown,
Yeah.
which I don't know if it was the same over in Germany, but that was like a really tough period. So that was like winter. It was a long period of lockdown here. So I was like flat sitting my friend's flat who had this piano that was really out of tune. And I was there by myself, and now I was just sitting down one night and I kind of created up this little line of like, I just want to be wanted. And I think that's what I sent to you initially.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, and then we kind of then started throwing back some ideas just over Instagram stories or Instagram messaging, I
Yeah.
think. Um, yeah, what are your recollections from that first bit?
I mean, I think it flowed really well, to be honest, because we were bouncing off ideas off of each other, and it
Mm,
was just smooth
yeah.
in a way, I'd say. And you gave me the chorus bit.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was like, okay. And then I just came up with like the verse, the
Yeah.
first verse
Which you did
um,
on, yeah, so initially it was
on the guitar. I did,
guitar, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then I sent that to you, and then we went ahead with the second verse,
Hmm.
I believe. And then we
Yeah.
were trying to like, and then we were just rearranging like
Yeah.
which one would be the verse,
Hmm.
which one would be chorus. I mean, the one you sent me wasn't the chorus
Mm.
at first,
Yeah, exactly. It was
but
a kind of
we
initial
decided
idea.
it was like a puzzle piece,
Yeah,
really.
no, totally.
That's what I like about music. It always ends up being like a puzzle piece that you have to rearrange
Hmm.
and fit the pieces together in a way.
Yeah,
So
and particularly when you're working with someone else as well, that's kind of uh, I guess if you're just doing it yourself, you've still got to do that kind of rearranging, figuring out the parts. But in
mm,
this way, even more so, you kind of have to like give and take a little bit more and kind of figure, okay, where could that work? What could go here?
yeah,
And I think it's a really interesting process because I think I'd love to actually at some point we like share some of those like clips of how the song developed. I think it'd be interesting.
you want to?
Yeah, would you never share that?
Maybe if I'm dead, like Prince does, and everybody else, they do it at, like when they're dead, like because it's
What does
because I
that
don't.
feel embarrassing to you?
It's yes.
Mm.
I don't like sharing work that isn't finished.
Okay, yeah. Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's finished now, but the process of it, because I mean, it's interesting when I see other artists do it.
Mm.
Um, but like I said, it always happens in like a documentary piece or
Maybe we'll save it
or
for the
when they're
documentary.
dead. So it's like, yes, let's save it for the documentary. You know,
Fine.
you don't give everything away so soon.
Yeah, right,
You
okay.
know, I don't know. I mean, that's just me. You can do whatever you want.
Let's see. Let's
I'll
see.
wait a bit.
See, yeah, fine. We'll wait a bit. We'll get that Netflix documentary.
Exactly, right? Let people demand more from
Exactly right. When
us.
people ask for it, then we'll give it to
Yeah.
them. But
If
yeah,
not, then okay.
yeah, yeah. If not, that's fine. Yeah, I think it is really interesting. Yeah, just yeah, those initial ideas and how it came to be what it finally is, which I think, well, when I first did that a little bit, and then you wrote the verse, like I guess we were still not really sure what it was going to become, but it's
Mm-hmm.
become something really different, I think, from what I imagined, maybe, but also it still has those elements of the, I guess, the lyrics and the melody is still in there, but the sound overall is like really, it's become a part of all three of us. Because then when we brought in Hectic as well to take
Yeah.
over, I think we'd got it to a good bit of production, which you did quite a lot of stuff of the demo that we kind of gave to him, and
Yeah.
then he then went and did his hectic his hectic stuff on it,
Yeah.
and again then he kind of took parts of it and sort of changed bits to, I guess, like fit in
Mm-hmm.
his way of kind of working and producing as well. Yeah, how did that feel for you, that part of it? So like handing over and letting the production side of things come in.
That's fine. I mean, like I told you, I can't. I'm not a producer, so I mean,
Mm,
I can only do. Um, we both created ideas of what we kind of heard in our heads, and then we
yeah,
sent it to each other, and then we just again bounced off each other with that. And it definitely has. But I thought giving it to Hectic was definitely a good idea because,
yeah.
or else we'd still be working on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'd still be passing it back and forth forever.
We need,
Yeah,
yeah, we need to just get things done. But it was definitely, like I said, it flowed really well. Like timing felt good to send it to Hectic at that time, and we were both happy with a demo version of it.
yeah,
And then yeah,
yeah.
definitely, yeah, yeah.
I guess that like the demo is almost like the structure. So we'd got the structure down at that point, and like
Mm-hmm.
where we knew bits were going to be uh, pretty much. Although there was maybe some bits that still kind of changed slightly, but then yeah, then he was able to then take our sound ideas and kind of do them with more of the production knowledge than we were able to do ourselves. And then I guess even at that point, then it was back to us as like a backing track, I guess. So then we were able
Mm-hmm.
to add our vocals, and we tried quite a few different versions as well. There was bits of us trying to do more like singing together and me doing
Mm.
verses, but in the end, and I think I'm really happy with how it's come about. It's like you are on those verses, and then I'm kind of coming in just later on in the middle bit and the chorus as well. Um, and it kind of
That
yeah,
wasn't intentional, but
yeah,
we definitely tried blending our voices together. But
mm,
unfortunately for me, I didn't think our voices fit complemented each other, which
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. Well, yeah, I guess
But
it was interesting, but it's funny. I wonder if that's also part of doing it remotely as well. Like, I wonder if it would be different if we were actually in the room recording together. Like, would there be something different? But I also am not.
probably,
I don't think it's. I'm not totally unhappy with that. Like, I think it gives it something slightly different as well. Like, it's because it's not necessarily what you'd expect as a collaboration in terms of like how we've ended up structuring it. So I think it does. It's quite
yeah.
interesting. Um, and quite weird. I think we said that as well. We're like, this is
It's
quite weird.
weird. The
Yeah, like
song
it's
is
quite weird.
weird.
It's a weird
I
song.
don't, it's like three songs in one.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
it makes sense. It makes sense, but it's weird.
yeah. I agree.
I don't know.
And that's
I
part
don't
of the process, and probably also for all of us, or all three of us, like doing that for the first time, really, and kind of
Yeah, it was, yeah,
learning
definitely.
that. And in terms of
Definitely.
what it's about. What do you think it's about in terms of writing those lyrics? Where can you see a story? Part of that's interpretation of the listener, I guess, but for you, what does it say?
I mean, you know, when let's go with love, shall we?
Ugh, let's go back there.
um, feeling you just want to be wanted
Yeah.
by a crush or whatever,
Hmm.
and it just doesn't happen. So you feel unwanted, but that's all you want is to be wanted by them or by anybody. And I said, I'm a stranger to love, and because I don't know anything about it at
Hmm.
all. I just I have illusions of
Mm.
love and ideas, but realistically, I have no idea. Just it doesn't exist to me at all. So yeah, it's just wanting to feel wanted by
Hmm.
somebody that you have feelings for.
Hmm. Yeah, and like yeah, I think that line as an opening line, I really love that line as well that you picked up from my idea, which is really cool because my idea was very simple. It was just that I wanted to be wanted, kind of bit, which you then were able to kind of pull out those verse lyrics from, um, and like yeah, I love that idea, of yeah, just questioning what is love. But at the end of the day, whoever you are,
What is
you
love?
want to be wanted. What is love? What is love? Yeah, you just want to be wanted, and
Yeah.
then um, yeah, then from that as well, then the next kind of step along the way is then getting it all together, then thinking about the actual release, and then the marketing of it all as well. And like so, that's when image and the video and all that kind of stuff kind of comes into it, and how we're going to do that. And you came up with this really cool, fun idea of the being arrested in county jail. Tell me how that came about.
I don't know. It just happened. I just came up with it because wanted. When you see a wanted
Yeah.
poster somewhere, that then you kind of think about, they have to either be killed, dead or alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I know. When you feel love, you kind of feel. For me, I kind of feel like I'm chained,
Mm.
or like the illusion of love,
Hmm.
like it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like really, I don't know. All my feelings that I've had for people, I just felt like I was locked up.
Yeah.
I
Intense
didn't feel
feelings.
free at all.
Mm. Yeah, that is interesting. I think there
Because
is.
people say love makes you feel free, love, and I'm like, I don't feel that at all. I feel the complete opposite. Like, I don't know what that means. I
Mm.
feel free when I'm not feeling anything
Mm.
for anyone. So, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
kind of
interesting.
in that way.
I can totally see that as well. I feel like I definitely have that sometimes as well. And like when uh yeah, often periods of me being my most creative have been when I have been single and like being not worrying about love and other things as well.
Mm, mm,
It'd
mm.
be nice that all of that can fit together, I think. But I think there is sometimes that intensity of just relationships though as well. I guess any type of relationship and how much you're giving of yourself to someone else.
Yeah,
And sometimes it comes at a cost of forgetting yourself a little bit and
yeah.
your own wants and needs. So it's yeah, tricky one. Always tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then that's so we got it together, which was really cool. So further down that line of back and forth, and when we managed to get it out, and yeah, uh, it's funny at this. I always say this with releases as well, and I'm sure we've spoken about this before, but it's been with us now for a long time, and we've known it, and developed it over this period. but then for everybody else, this is now it's a brand new thing that they've never heard. But so it's quite interesting
Yeah.
now, just handing it over, and yeah,
Yeah, just
kind of
take it.
yeah, take it. That's it. Go with it, and it frees us up now at this point to kind of like, okay, we can now think about
Exactly.
other things.
Mm.
But in that same moment when everybody's like, "Oh, tell me about this song," and like you're like, "Okay." um,
Right? It's like it's listen to the song,
yeah,
you'll get
just that's it. Yeah,
it. Like,
listen to
let
it.
the song speak for itself.
That's it. Right? Let the art speak for
Mm.
itself. But speaking of next projects, what is on your horizon?
I'm working so these next two, three projects, one single and one EP, and then instrumental soundtrack piece. I'm challenging myself this time to do everything myself. So from production, well, I mean, acoustics, so that's a bit easy. I think it's just really recording and then mixing and mastering.
Hmm.
But I finally learned mixing and mastering this year,
Oh, amazing.
after years of not knowing what mixing was, even though I went to university to learn it, but didn't. Okay, that's a whole new different story.
We'll
And
save
so
that for the documentary as well.
yeah, so I purchased like I really was able to build my studio, like upgrade my studio gear so that I could start mixing and mastering for these next three projects.
Hmm.
So a single will be coming out first, and then an EP, all in that order, and then my soundtrack. I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah, that's all right. I can see keeping things close, close to chest, but that's cool. Keep them wanting more.
Because
That's what I'm
yeah,
learning.
because every time I speak, every time I tell people my plans, it never comes true.
Right, right. Things change.
I don't
They
know.
do. It's the way of this as well. Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. It's, I mean, also, yeah, same. I think when I spoke to you initially with this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have like a whole collaboration album, like EP and all that. And like, as
Yeah.
I mean, I still would, that would be cool. But actually, the reality is, it takes a long time, particularly when you're working with two people. Never mind then three people, and like everybody's got their own stuff going on that you've got to try and fit in as well. So just actually, as I've a big
Mm-hmm.
learning for this process for me has been, yeah, just how when you're not in the same space and you don't have like a week together, for example, and you're not doing
Mm-hmm.
anything else, then that you can get a lot done. But when you're having to do it kind of remotely and with different schedules and everything, then it does just take a much longer time. Um, so yeah, so sometimes when you say these plans, they don't always happen because of
Exactly. It's
life.
like,
I mean,
yeah. But you said you learned, like it was a learning process. Like, what did you learn for this
yeah. Well,
project?
I think definitely that's in terms of like how the sort of practicalities of it definitely you need, yeah, carving out that time is really key. And I think maybe I needed much more time than I'd kind of considered in the
Okay.
first place. Um, but also, I think just the creative process as well. I realized that I could actually, um, I can let go in this way a lot more in a really good way. Like I think when I am writing something that's just me that's writing it, then um, I probably get a bit like caught on certain ideas and like I'm always trying to make sure that I've got everything that I want in there. But actually, this way it was quite nice letting go in certain ways, like allowing Hectic to kind of create that sound, allowing you to kind of go with those kind of verses, and then having my bits coming in. And it's almost like I know where I could find where my thing was, and I could add that in. But it didn't have to be in every single part of the song or
Mm,
process, if that makes
mm,
sense.
mm, mm.
Um, and that each person was bringing something to create the final thing. Like I would have
Yeah.
never have created what we've created myself. So if it was just me working on a song, it would be something completely different. And I feel probably same for you. Like if it was just you doing it yourself, I think the final product would be in something different. So the the letting go part of that process was key to what we finally made. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean,
Hmm.
just allowing other people, like not being a control freak
Yeah,
for
basically,
me
yeah.
about being a control freak. Basically, you cannot be a control freak if you're working with other people. You just can't.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
and
the
like,
point?
yeah, it just doesn't work, doesn't it? And that,
And do your own thing. You know what I mean? So you just need to, sometimes you need to, okay, let some things go, and you need to trust the process, and you need to trust the people that you're working with, and just take a step back,
hmm,
basically.
yeah, yeah, totally. I like even because like making the decisions remotely as well. Um, you know, you'd have to sometimes just go like make a decision kind of and let it happen instead of like mulling it over for a long period of time.
Mm,
Because just by the way of emailing things back and forward or like sending clips, you kind of just have to be like, okay, yeah, go with gut sometimes a little bit more, or let somebody else
yeah,
make that decision, and like you say, trust them that they've made the right decision. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, no, I think it's a really interesting and cool process, and I look forward to do more of it as well. But I think we've all had an experiment of this first one together. So thank you for doing it with me. Thank you for
Definitely.
saying yes in the first place.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I mean,
Ah, no,
that wouldn't
absolutely.
have worked. That wouldn't have started if you didn't say anything.
No, no, always like always, had you in mind. I have to say, it's your like your vocals particularly was always what I was like. I just love the way that you sing, and I think that
Oh, thank you.
um, really shines through. I think it's been really showcased in what we finally created, and I'm really
Yeah.
happy. Like we're so happy about that. So it's
I
super
mean,
cool.
yeah, I did have to re-record because I heard your bit,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I
Of
was like,
course.
you're bringing in so much more power than I was with the first, the first, what was it, take or
Mm,
something. And I was like, I need to re-record this. This is not meshing well. So I
mm,
did, and then brought a little bit more power into the
mm.
vocals after hearing your finished chorus bit.
Yeah.
I love the chorus bit that you're doing. It's like it just fits so well.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, we did it, right? We did it. Onto the new
We
thing.
did it. We did it. And now we can move on.
Now we can move on.
Off to
Let
new
it go.
things.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it was definitely a learning process for me as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. What
So
is there anything that I've not mentioned that you've kind of learned during this time?
basically letting go and taking a step back, and then as well as graphic design, because I'm trying to get into that as well. So thank you for letting me do the album artwork,
Yeah.
and that you guys actually liked it. Um, and so that, like, it was just really a learning process for me, and doing the demo track as well, like a little bit of a production piece.
Mm.
I am learning, and I'm definitely experimenting, so this song is quite, it feels experimental. Like what genre is this?
I
Like
don't,
I
I
just said
don't know.
electronic and pop.
I was the same when I was trying to like upload it. I was like, I don't really know what we've created, but sure.
It was like,
That's
what
okay.
is this song? Experimental. I put it experimental, electronic, and pop.
Yeah, I think
I don't.
I'll think yeah, alternative was definitely a word in there somewhere. Pop, synth,
Okay, I didn't put that one in there.
yeah, experimentals possible too. Yeah, it's all those things together,
It is.
I think.
Okay. But yeah, it's definitely experimental for me to collaborate with people. I've worked with producers, but I have
Mm,
never worked with another artist before.
yeah,
So that was definitely also a learning process. And like I said before, just taking a step back and just
mm,
letting people do their thing. And
yeah,
then obviously, um, I I I thought it was fine that you guys were okay with, being a little bit truthful here and there, and me, and allowing me
yeah,
to say
definitely.
that all our vocals don't really mesh
Yeah,
that well. I don't know if you guys agreed, but
yeah. No, I think I I think yeah, at that point I was very um like I think I was just really open, and I think I was very
Okay,
trusting
yeah,
of
open,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, like, and so I was.
Hmm.
It was good that we got to that point where we were able to be, yeah, honest about things that we didn't think
Yeah.
worked, and so I totally then was like, yeah, okay, yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I trust you actually in that. Um, and then yeah, then it kind of worked from that point as well.
Yeah.
Similar with like so I remember when I sort of recorded saxophone, and
Yeah.
I like I recorded like basically like a full like orchestra of, like there was so many saxophones that I just did loads.
Really?
Yeah, like so the line that's
Okay.
in it now, there's only one saxophone and a little bit
Hmm.
in the middle instrumental section bit. Um, but I recorded like loads of different harmonies and like all this kind of stuff that kind of happened from I think just before my chorus kind of coming on and then kind of went throughout. Um, and but I was doing it in the intention that actually probably not all of that will go in. But then
Hmm.
when I got it back from Hectic and he just picked that one line and just for that bit, I was like, oh okay. But then I was like, well actually, I trust him though that I you know
Okay, yeah.
I didn't feel hurt that he didn't put my
Yeah,
all
yeah.
those saxophones because I was like actually yeah that was too much and actually what he picked I love now like that simple line out of
Hmm.
everything that I'd done I was like actually that is all that it needed. Um,
Yeah.
and like again that was the sort of handing it over. I trust you to pick from what I've done that it's going to work and kind of make
Hmm.
sense. um so yeah, no, it's cool. Like I think that, and that does just come with, yeah, like we say that word trust, and just trusting that you've chosen people to work with that they know what they're doing and you know what you're doing as well, so it kind of, you got to allow that to happen, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
it's just the whole point of being able to be honest with each other
mm,
and not getting feelings hurt. It's like
yeah,
it's teamwork. We're just trying to create a good song,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and if something works, then take it out. If not,
Yeah.
keep it in. You can try to convince people if you want.
Hmm.
And the thing is, at least we tried to do things and then put it together, and then we saw that, oh, it didn't work,
Yeah.
instead of saying, oh, that's not going to work, even though we didn't try it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like almost like it was like if we were in the same room together, it's like that would be us improvising together, you know, and
Mm.
like trying out ideas in the space and
Yeah.
then being
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, that works, whatever. But we're not in the same room, so it's a different form of improvisation, which means you have to record stuff and sort of showcase ideas and then take them away if they don't work.
Yeah.
So it's just a different way of doing that. But yeah, no, it's cool, and yeah, very happy to have it out in the world. I had actually had a question about your mixing and mastering that you've been learning. How have you been learning it? Have you just been doing this self study? Have you been studying somewhere, or how you been
I was
upskilling?
always interested. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, on you go.
Um, well, um, it's a program called Isotope. And I've always known about it, but I could never purchase it. I had like a Mac from 2007, the Lion, and it was already outdated, so I wasn't able to download the program. So I had to literally buy a whole new computer just to do that. And so I did it. And so I'm just learning on YouTube as of now because there's so many tutorials on YouTube. I love YouTube when it comes to learning things. Obviously, it's just mixing and mastering the basics. If you want a bit more professional, then I would have to, you know,
Mhm.
pay somebody to do that, which
Yeah,
is fine. But I do want to get into the process of doing it myself and learning it, and just so I'm starting with the whole isotope programs and
cool.
what they've offered me and stuff with mixing and mastering. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean it's quite interesting. and there's so much to learn still. And I really have to train my ears.
Mm.
I've still have yet to do an exercise where it comes to training my ears, because I was watching the tutorial and the dude was like um showing the before and after of a sound of something that he did, and I was like, I don't hear it, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, maybe I'm not cut out for this, but like I said, it's just about training your ears. And I was introduced to mixing and mastering when I was at university and film school, but unfortunately I never they never taught it to us. So I was like, okay, they just told us to do it ourselves. I'm like, okay, why am I here then?
Yeah.
But again, that's a different story.
That's a story for
So
another time.
yeah.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
cool.
that's how I came to be.
No, that's great. Well, yeah, well done for getting that underway, because I think that's such a useful skill to have.
Mm,
Definitely one that I would
mm,
love to look into myself in the future, for
definitely go
sure.
for it.
Yeah, because I think it's
The basics, yeah.
yeah, exactly, the basics, and the more you can do yourself,
The
the more
better.
tools you have, the better, and the more free you can be. Also, the less money that you can spend in the end, because it
It's
ends up being
expensive.
very expensive doing this. And as we all know, it's very hard to make any money back. So, um, yeah,
Right?
buy our t-shirts. We've got t-shirts coming.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. T-shirts.
um,
Merch.
yeah,
We
merch. That's
need
the way to
we
go.
need the money.
Yeah, go buy things on Bandcamp. I actually just said I used to have Bandcamp ages in another band in a previous life, but I didn't actually. I
Oh,
hadn't
you were
set
in a
it.
band.
Yeah, I used to be in a duo back
Okay.
back when I lived in Edinburgh. So yeah, so me and this girl that I went to uni with, we played together. So we used to do some stuff in Bandcamp, but that was kind of before streaming was really what it is now. Um,
Mm.
so now, just for this single, then I've like, oh yeah, I finally I need to get back on Bandcamp. So I'm now, well, I won't commit to anything yet. As we say, things change, but I'm very much going to be like getting everything up on there, because like that just makes total sense in terms of ways of selling stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and merchandise as well, hopefully. Yeah, no, it's all cool. Well, thank you so much for coming to chat to me behind the scenes of Wanted a little bit.
Thank you for inviting me
Yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah. My pleasure. My pleasure. And yeah, well, look forward to hearing all of your next projects this year. And yeah, let's keep in touch.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing your stuff as well.
Thank you.
Seeing hopefully your collaboration EP
Yeah,
will
absolutely.
still happen.
Yeah, that's it. Calls are right there. If everyone wants to jump on board, let me know.
Exactly. Anybody.
Anybody, come on, please. No, absolutely no. This will be a great song to be part of that collection. Whenever that collection appears, I won't put a timestamp on it yet.
You can't rush
Just-
the process.
exactly. That's what we've figured. If anything.
That's what we figured. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, Tash, have a great rest of your day, and we will see
I
you out
hope
there
you
in the
do
world
as
of
well.
music.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Bye.
Ciao.